are going to see sorting of array. What is meant by this sorting means it is like just we are arranging the array elements in an order. So arranging in an order is nothing but sorting. So our question is we need to arrange the elements in an array into ascending order. So I will clear you the logic in the paper. So if we clear the logic, we can write the program easily. For understanding purpose, let us take few array elements like. So the meaning of ascending order means it is gradually increasing the value from left to right. So at right side of the ascending order, it is of with biggest number. At very left side, it is smallest number. So what we need to do means, so here the logic is, first we need to compare these two things, these two elements. So among these two, which one is bigger, let us say. So we need to compare these two things like if 5 is greater than 4, then we need to do things like we need to swap these two things. Like for this purpose, let us take few variables like, let us take one temp variable like it is of first index. So a of 0 is when greater than a of 1, means we need to swap. So a temp variable, I am going to store the value which is in of a0. So I am going to store this thing in temp. Now I am freeing the a of 0. In the a of 0, I am moving the value of a of 1. Like at a of 0, I am moving the value of a of 1. Now in this section, I am moving the value which is stored in the temp. Like a of 1 is equals to temp. Then what is the meaning of this means? Like the temp is equals to 5. Then later a of 0 equals to 4. Now if a of 0 equals to 4, then later, now here it is becoming 4, then later it is also 4. At this step, the a of 1 is becoming 5. What is the value of temp? It is 5. So the temp is copying to the a of 1. Now it is becoming 4 and 5. So this is how we are going to swap using this code. Using this code, we are compared these two things. Like it is becoming now 4 and 5. Means what is the meaning of this? Means we are transferring the biggest number to the right side in the form of addition, in the form of ascending order. Now we need to write the universal code. Like again we need to compare this thing also. So we need to compare again this one. So it is a common operation we are doing multiple times. For loop, we need a one variable. Like let us take I only. So inside this for, let us write when I equals to 0. Like we are need to compare. First we need to compare this two, later this two, again among these two, after these two. So let us write here only. So later we need to compare here these two elements, again these two elements. So up to where we need to compare? We need to compare 0, 1, 2 at the third index. So it is of size 5. So we need to compare up to the third index only to reach the smallest number at the last index of the array. To the third index means we need to use less than 4 also. So up to less than the fourth index, the comparison is done. Later it is of I plus plus. Inside this we need to write the whole comparison thing. Like if here at a of 0 is greater than a of 1, means at a of I which is greater than a of I plus 1, then we need to compare like this. Later temp is equals to a of I plus a of I, then later a of I equals to a of I plus 1, then later the a of I plus 1 is equals to temp. So this is the code that is to compare this thing. At last what is going to happen? At last it is moving at this iteration, it is moving the last number as 5. So again we need to continue from the first. Like again we need to start from the index number 0. Again we need to compare the multiple times with this code, with this whole from for to this open brush to close brush. Again we need to take this thing. So it is of multiple times. So again we are using for loop. So to initialize this we are using one another variable like j. So we need to compare up to, like, if it is of size 5, like 5 4 3 2 1. So initially we are comparing up to here, so at the third index only, then later we need to compare up to second index only, because eh, while comparing up to here, at last number it is moving the big number like 5. Now if we compare up to here, up to second index, means the last number it is moving like 4. If we compare up to the index number 1, then at last it is going to move the third number. Now if we compare only up to 0, and if we compare up to 0, then it is moving the last to 2. Now at the 0th index it is now with 1. So this is the order of the comparison. So how many iterations is going to take means 1 2 3 4. So to compare this, it is taking the 4 iterations, so which is less than is number 4, but we need to take less than the size. So up to the 0 1 2 3, it is of 4 times. So here I am taking 4 only. When we use here 1, then here we need to use number 5, or you can use like less than or equals to, then later j plus plus. Inside this we need to write this code. So this is the logic to the ascending order in the array. So this is the program or the code I have written based on the logic. So initially I have initialized the variable array. Let the array is of size like 5, like, and I have assigned the values what I have taken in the example, like 5 4 3 2 1. So for looping purpose I have taken it two variables like I and j. To swap the values I have taken the temp variable. So this is the whole thing I have explained in the logic only. Now if I run the program, you can check out here 1 2 3 4 5 is printing successfully from this. So we need to make the universal thing, like suppose if we assign the maximum size, like let it be of size of 5. I am removing here, like I am removing this thing here. In the below of this I am advising user like this: printf enter the size of the array. So to store this the entered size, let it be take one variable like the variable of name like size only. Right, and now I am scanning the value into the size variable. Now here initial what I said that, so if it's of maximum 5 size, then we need to comparing up to the 4, means which is of size minus 1. So here we need to write like size minus 1. So here also it is of size minus 1 only. So this is how we are making the universal one. So here also, now here also let us change like size minus 1. So we have changed the little bit things in the code. Now again there is a no data in the array element. So we need to ask the user to enter the data. So we need to take the data from the user only, like, so there is some error in this, like it is not taking one another variable. So here we need to change this to size. Here also this to size. Now again if I run this, let's see, it is asking let us make the same things. Now you can see here I entered the values in the reverse order, like descending order. It is printing in the ascending order, like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. You can check out the output. Suppose if we need to make it to descending order, like from larger number to smaller number, then here just we need to replace it with the this symbol, like lesser than number. Now again if I run the program, you can see, suppose it is asking like I am entering the maximum size of like 5, that I am giving the values in the reverse order, like ascending order only. Now descending order, it is printing in the descending order. So this is an example for descending order. Now if we change here like the greater than, it is of example with ascending order. So I think you have cleared the logic and the code. So thank you for the watching.